Welcome back to the neighborhood, everyone. Today we have special guest Khalif Celestine from KW Philly. Welcome to the neighborhood, Khalif.
Hey Jim, thanks. Pleasure to be here.
Awesome, man. Great to have you. So tell the neighborhood guests and friends a little bit about you and how you got into the real estate world.
Okay, sure. Yeah, so I've been in real estate 3.5, going on 4 years. I was doing help desk, IT, before that, and my fiance at the time was pregnant with our first child. We were getting married soon. I was doing a contractor position at Independence Blue Cross, so there's no paid time off, there's no benefits, anything like that. I was hired on like a 3-month contract to full time. 3 years later, I was still a contractor, no benefits, no time off.
Sure.
Fiance's pregnant, and so I'm kind of looking at other things to get into. Sales is attractive. There's no income ceiling, and I just made the jump. I just figured it's going to be now or never. It's not going to get easier.
Yeah.
So I just made the leap. Ended up doing Uber, morning rush hour, getting in the office to just learn as much as I could.
Hustling.
Getting back out there and doing Uber
Yeah.
for evening rush hour, and then just coming home and being a dad. And yeah, man, it was a grind, but it's we're getting there.
That's awesome. I love the grinders, man.
Yeah,
You don't really, I sound like an old fogey when I say it, but you don't really see that a lot in the younger generation.
Yeah, no, it's true. It's true.
A lot of people are like, I'll get when I get to it. I love it. People, I'm working this part-time job and this part-time job just to chase my dream and hustle.
You got to build the life you want.
Yeah, awesome. What's your favorite part of the business right now?
Flexibility, just the ability, not that I ever take time off, but just the ability to take time off if I need to. One of the reasons that I got into real estate, again, having a new child, it was just like, I need the ability to take him to the doctors and not ask for permission. I just need to be able to do that.
Sure.
Same thing, it's like I want to, live a life where it's like I can kind of just, eventually, right, one day, just kind of be like, let's go to Athens today. That's what we're working towards.
Nice.
But really, it's the flexibility and the time freedom. That's why I got into it.
Awesome. And let's say you're looking in a crystal ball, 2025,
Okay.
April 28th. Where is Khalif Celestine as far as life and everything goes?
Okay. Potentially, got a small investment development team going, got a small sales team going, and maybe still being the PC coach at Keller Williams Philly.
Okay.
The productivity launch coach as well.
Nice.
Yeah, definitely investing though. That's kind of like the next step. You build the sales, and as you get into sales, you kind of just learn so much about the industry, and you see the blueprint that's been used so often, by other agents in the office, people that you've heard about nationwide, and it's like, here's the blueprint I used to build wealth for myself. So, and it's always, investing in real estate. So that's 2025, April 28th. That's it. A couple properties and working on a few more.
Awesome. And now I know you do some things outside of real estate for your soul and for your heart. You're involved in some charities and stuff like that.
Yeah, man.
Talk a little bit about that, what you do and what you love about that.
Oh, okay, sweet, man. Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. So I sit on the board of a nonprofit in Philly called Savage Sisters. Mission statement is to, aggressively attack addiction in the city. There's no one who's not familiar with the opioid crisis. Kensington is kind of like a hotbed in the city, but definitely not restricted to that area. The suburbs, other areas of the city, everyone knows someone affected by it. So I sit on the board. We do outreaches the third Saturday of every month. We also do it every Tuesday at McPherson Square. We do live events, like we do concerts and things like that, really to fundraise, to educate people, and just get the message out there that, one, there's a resource here. They provide housing and therapy for people coming out of addiction and helping them get placed in jobs and things like that. And, it's a nonprofit, and it is just for the soul,
Sure.
It just feels so great when you go out there and, number one, just kind of helping people, number one, but then also building relationships with people and seeing them, over years. I have a friend who I've made through Savage Sisters, her name's Brandy. She's been sober 18 months. She's a manager at one of the houses. Just seeing that personal growth in a person, it's nothing like it.
One of the most amazing things in my personal experience is when you see somebody who's dead. The light's not on. They're dead, and then you see it start to flicker, and you see them start to catch a little bit, and they start to get some stuff, and then you see them 6 months or 9 months later, and they're just they're on fire.
Completely different person. Yeah.
Totally different person, and you feel like, not that you're responsible for it, but that you had just a little bit to do.
Yeah, you played a part in that story, and their comeback story, essentially, and there's really just nothing like, and again, it's not that you're looking for credit or anything like that, but it just feels so good to know that you made a difference. Yeah.
because, I mean, I like doing mortgages. I like doing that stuff. But in reality, I don't go home at night and go, man, I got them approved for a mortgage, you know, but if you're involved in somebody's turnaround or helping someone who's hopeless, then I'll lay at home at night and be like, man, that was awesome. That's what makes it worth it.
Warms your soul, like you said, 100%.
For sure. All right, one personal question.
No problem.
Khalif hits the lottery tomorrow. You win $1 million. What's the first thing you're spending money on with that $1 million?
Oh, real estate, no question.
Real estate?
Real estate. See, I thought you were gonna say like $100 million. Then $1 million, I'm buying real estate. I'm throwing some money away for the kids, IRAs and things like that. A little bit, save a little bit to treat mom and things like that. But the 70-60%, it's going right into real estate.
Right into real estate. I love that.
No question.
Cool. So if anybody wanted to get in touch with you, talk to you, see what's going on, even contact you about Savage Sisters, how would they get in touch with you?
Yeah, so best way to reach me is either through my phone number. I'll ask our editor to throw my phone number in, or just find me on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Khalif Closes.
I love that.
Yeah, man.
Khalif Closes.
Shoot me a DM, shoot me a message, shoot me an email. I'm pretty responsive. I'm here to just give everyone the best possible service. Just be a resource, even if you just have some questions.
Awesome, man. Thank you so much for coming by there.
Thank you. This is awesome.
We'll be back in the neighborhood with our next guest. Welcome back to the neighborhood, boys and girls. Our next guest is Tyler, the Terminator Ardren from Risk Reduction Plus, one of our awesome homeowners insurance vendors. Tyler, welcome to the neighborhood, everybody.
Thanks so much for having me, Mr. Mortgage.
Awesome,
Excited to be on.
Great to be here. So give everyone a little bit of a description of what you do and how you help people out to be your superhero self.
Definitely, yeah. So like Jim said, name's Tyler Ardren. I own and run a local insurance brokerage outside of South Jersey. We specialize in flood insurance, do flood insurance nationwide. We also do a lot of homeowners insurance in the area, tri-state area, so New Jersey, Pennsylvania, New York, and Delaware. Do a lot of auto insurance, and then we help a lot of small businesses in the area with their liability, workers' comp, and all that good stuff. We're a brokerage, so I shop out to the different markets. We have all the top carriers, Progressive, Plymouth Rock, all the big guys. Shop it, find the best rate for the client, make sure they're covered and all that, and get them all set up. So.
Awesome. Now, a little disclaimer here. If you're watching this production right now and you have an FHA loan, you need to call both of us because you can get a conventional loan with flood insurance. I'm sorry.
Yep.
FHA loan with flood insurance. If you have that, they force you to get special flood insurance, which is 3 times as much as the regular flood insurance. So if you're watching this, FHA loan and flood insurance, give us a call. We will absolutely save you money on that. My one client went from $2,200 a year in coverage to $580, I think was the coverage there. So a lot of people don't know the difference between the two things, and Tyler is awesome at that. So if you're watching and you have those scenarios, reach out to us.
Definitely.
Back to the interview.
Yeah, on that though, real quick, just to go off of that, Jim.
Mm-hmm.
So what you're talking about there is you have to go to the government. If you're with FHA, it's in the FHA guidelines. And if Jim's able to refi you into, say, conventional mortgage, we can then go to private flood insurance, which opens up the market to every single private company where the rates are a lot more competitive. Just because there's 15, 20 different options as opposed to just the one with the government.
Mm-hmm.
So in that situation, we lowered them down to $500 a year. They escrow the flood insurance, so it's in that mortgage payment. So they're dropping down that that amount per month, which is $200 say a month right off the mortgage. Also with the refi, they could potentially lose that that mortgage insurance.
Yeah,
so
sure.
They can save upwards of $500-600 a month, which is is insane.
Yeah, which we've done before.
Yeah.
Now, also, along with being an awesome homeowners insurance provider, you also are an incredible world-class networker. So I guess the answer might be a little obvious, but why do you do that, and what's your motivation for constantly getting people together?
Yeah. So in insurance, it's not sexy, right? I mean, at the end of the day, it's just...
listen, you made it sexy. Come on.
I try, but it can get as sexy as it can get.
Right.
So I try bringing value to my referral sources, and just to meet new people, right? So I do a lot of networking events, like you said, Jim. bringing people together and trying to bring value that way, and hopefully grow your business through meeting people in my Rolodex, and same vice versa for whoever's kind of coming to my events. So I just try to bring value to my people, because really at the end of the day, same in mortgage, same really I guess in any industry. If you go to me or you go to another insurance broker, at the end of the day, like, we have the same products. Give or take, the rates could be a little different, but they're usually super close. So people come to me for the value that I bring, and I try to bring more value than just, hey, this is the insurance I can offer, because at the end of the day, anyone can do that. So big thing is just providing value, and that's kind of what I try to do.
Awesome. Tyler also turned me on to one of the better things that's happened to me. I don't even know if you remember that you turned me on to the Harvest.
I do.
Yeah. So, the Harvest Network, which is a personal development, self-development network that we're in. How did you stumble across the Harvest, and how do you, do all the different things to invest in yourself and make yourself better all around? Yeah.
So I've always been for like coaching and just bettering yourself. I'm fortunate that I was raised that way. My mom is in real estate my whole life. My dad is a entrepreneur, owns his own business and everything. And even as successful as they are, my mom's always had a coach. She still does. She owns a brokerage now, and she still has a coach. Right. And she would, a lot of the things that the coaches would tell her, and me as a kid, she would tell me. Now at the time, as a 14, 15-year-old teenager, that didn't set in. Yeah, I'm just like, Mom, why are you telling me this stuff all the time? But looking back, now I can see that had an effect on me. So anytime like I see that type of stuff, I'm always open ears. Anything, whether it's self-improvement, entrepreneurship, going to the gym, anything that's really bettering yourself, I've always been for. So I saw, so I joined Harvest, I guess, now going on 2 years. Kind of when Devin was first starting it, and a lot of the people that were in early were people that, like Johnston deals and a few others that, when I would go to networking events, there were people I gravitated towards, just their energy, their positivity, it just aligned with what I am. So they were in it, and I said, well, if they're in it, it's got to make sense. And, that was kind of that easy. It's kind of similar to you. I sent it to you, and you kind of saw it right away. Right. And it's been awesome because everybody in it now, like I said, yourself included, we all have that same kind of energy and same values and all that good stuff. So yeah, that's kind of what got me in it. And like I said, there's always room to improve. I'm never going to be, not that I'm never going to be happy. I'm super happy with what I do now and everything like that with my family and work and everything. But I'm never going to be, I guess, satisfied. And I think there's always room to improve, whether that's, like I said, in the gym, whether that's eating, better or whatever, cleaner, improving the business through, doing more sales. Every year, like I'll tell you, when I opened up 9 years ago, I couldn't imagine doing 20 policies a month. Right. Now I'm doing 100. We're doing 150 a month. Nice. And I could never imagine doing that. And sure. Probably 5 years from now, I won't imagine doing 300, but I want to get there once I get to the next mark. Mm-hmm. So it's just, there's always room to improve, and I'm going to keep pushing it to get there. Okay, your one personal question is, if you could spend a half an hour with any person from history, alive or dead, who would it be? Who would you want to sit down and have a talk with for a half an hour? That's I've heard that because I'm an avid listener to these Mr. Mortgage, and I've heard that question, and to be honest, I thought about it because I said, I bet he's going to ask me something like that, and then I forgot, and now I'm thinking about it again. So that's tough, man. There's so many people I'd love to meet. Man, that's tough. I have to say, it's got to be like an entrepreneur type person. Okay. And there's so many of them, right? I mean, your Elons, they're the easy ones. Elon Musk, especially now, right? Sure. Even though like self-improvement guys, this will be just because he's been in the news a ton, but like your Will Smiths. Mm-hmm. Yep. But I've always followed him too, man. Even before this crap he's going through now. Yeah. But he's always been that type of person too, of pushing and even though he's so successful, but when he was going on that run of I Am Legend and all those movies, mm-hmm. He's still like I just listened to his book, and that's kind of why it's coming to my mind now. Sure, but sure. the way he structured his life was all around keep producing movies, successful blockbuster movies. So guys like him, just anyone successful, man.
Yeah.
I'm not one that, I'm a huge sports guy. Tonight we got, a ton of stuff going on.
Yeah, for sure.
I
We
can't
have the
wait.
draft and the Toronto.
Yeah, so we got a ton of stuff going on, but I'm not crazy about, like, I don't think I really would want to meet like an athlete or something like that, because it's like
Maybe like Babe Ruth or something.
Yeah,
like that.
something like
so
that.
So far back, but
something like that. But
Yeah.
like now it's like these guys, I could care less. Like they ain't paying my mortgage.
Right.
But someone that would like really benefit me would be someone that's, like I said, that had like a successful business. Like even now, like when I do networking and stuff, like I pick your brain all the time too.
Mhm.
Like what are you doing with this? What are you doing with that? And the reason I do that is because I can like take stuff from anybody and learn. So like being able to talk to an Elon Musk for like 30 minutes or like a Buffett or like anybody
Sure.
like that.
Sure.
And just picking their brain, like how did you go from here to here and what types of things did you do? And from what I've learned, just for people like yourself and just other entrepreneurs in this area that I've talked to, it's taking those risks and everything.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, I'd say, not to give you a direct question, but any entrepreneurial type person is kind of what I Bezos, like any of those types of people, I'd love to just sit down for 30 minutes. Now I guess I couldn't eat at Bezos or something like that, but you got to pay him probably.
Yeah, a ton.
Yeah, a ton of money. So
Yeah.
that's not what I'm looking to do. But
Awesome, man. Thanks for coming by the neighborhood.
yeah, thanks
Great
so
to
much,
see
Mr.
ya.
Mortgage, for having me.
Awesome, and we'll be back with the next guest from Mr. Mortgage's Neighborhood. Welcome back to the neighborhood, boys and girls. Our next guest is Doug Johnston from Remax. Doug, welcome to the neighborhood.
Thanks for having me.
Awesome. So just give a little bit of a background of how you got into real estate and what your career is like right now.
I got into real estate because prior to real estate, I was self-employed. I owned a landscape and hardscape company.
Okay.
Prior to that, I owned a very large entertainment company, DJs, bands, comedians,
Okay.
etc. The landscape, hardscape aspect of life got a little rough on the body. I sold my business. That was the ultimate goal, build it up and sell it. And I've always had a fascination with, real estate, helping people, flipping houses, etc.
Mhm.
So I went all in, took the test, got my license, and it's the best thing I did in a long time.
That's awesome. And I've done some work with clients for you with investment properties and flips and stuff.
Yes.
Is that your main target, or are you?
Personally, I have no interest in flipping, if that makes any sense. I personally don't want to do that. I think in order for me to apply myself as a successful realtor, I'm not going to have enough time for my clients if
Right.
I get into flipping myself. Maybe one day down the road I may, but right now I have no interest in it.
No, but you like to work with investors and find them their property.
I do.
Okay.
I do. I like to see the end result. I like to see when they buy a house for X amount of dollars, they do their part of flipping it, we close, they make an X amount of dollars, the handshake, the smile. It's great.
Awesome.
It's rewarding.
Awesome. And we were talking beforehand, not a lot of inventory, and one of your favorite topics is sweat equity. So let's tell the people in the neighborhood what actually sweat equity is and how they might be able to use that for them to find their perfect house right now.
Yeah, that's a great topic. Sweat equity, basically, in a nutshell, is doing work yourself without hiring a contractor that adds value to your home, significant value to your home. Sweat equity requires, a little bit of a strong back, and you can't be afraid to make mistakes. You can't be afraid to tackle something you're unfamiliar with. For example, when you first start your job, your first day on the job, you don't really know what to do. You got to be taught how to do it. You have to have that comfort zone of going in and doing it. It's the same thing when you get on your hands and knees, rip out linoleum, and put in tile. Or you go out back and you take the wood decking off and put on Trex deck. Or you hang cabinets. If you can read a level and read a tape measure, do a little research, call a contractor, you'd be surprised what you can do.
Yeah.
Really. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not that hard. No disrespect to contractors. But it's not that hard to rip up linoleum and put in tile in a powder room. You start off in the powder room, master that, go to the kids' bathroom, master that, and then you go to the master bathroom. So you make trial and error, you make your mistakes, you correct them. By the time you get to the big boy spot of the house, you're more comfortable.
Now, do you do things like YouTube videos? Do you watch them, or do you go to Home Depot and do those classes to learn, or how do you actually start the show?
Being in the business, I'm fortunate enough to know several contractors,
Right.
several flippers. I've never took I've never took wood shop in high school. I'm not a carpenter by any means, but I'm currently building a cabana in my backyard. A poolside cabana
Yes.
that I've always wanted. It's my midlife crisis project. But I just did a little research. I asked a few questions. I stared at the lawn for about 2 weeks, and I said, you know what? Let's start setting the posts. And I added value to my home. If I can do it, I don't expect a little 95-pound woman to carry 200-pound posts, okay?
Right.
But if I can do it, anybody can do it.
Anybody can do it. That's
Anybody
awesome.
can do it.
And what's your favorite part of being a realtor?
I kind of touched on it earlier. I like the reward aspect of it at closing. But what I do like about real estate in general, either as a buying agent or a selling agent, is the excitement of buying a home. Because we're not only realtors, but we're also psychologists. We're mediators. We have to deal with a lot of things outside of offering on a house, doing contracts.
Talk them off the ledge.
Got to talk them off the ledge. You've got to calm them down. Here, have some wine, have a bottle.
Sometimes marriage counselor.
Sometimes marriage counselor. It can get really, really difficult, especially when you're dealing with family and friends, because oftentimes you take that for granted that, you know, they love and trust you no matter what. But when $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 is on the line, things can get a little sketchy.
For sure.
Yeah.
Now, outside of real estate, what do you do to warm your heart and warm your soul as a human being?
I coach my son in wrestling.
Yeah.
And I coach my oldest in baseball. That's the way I just release myself and, you know, enjoy life, I guess, enjoy being a parent.
Were you a wrestler yourself?
I was a wrestler
Okay.
myself.
Nice.
Yes.
Nice.
It's a
But
good,
you're not one of the crazies that live vicariously through their kids.
I don't live through my kid, but I am crazy.
Yes.
I want nothing but the best for my
Uh-huh.
kids, as athletes, as people, as professionals. I want nothing but the best, but it's a release for me. I get a chance to, while I'm answering the phone, I get at least the chance to enjoy life, so to speak. So
Awesome.
yeah,
All right. So, personal question. Last question of the night.
yes.
Anyone, alive or dead, musician, can come to your house and play 2 songs. Who's the musician, and what would the 2 songs be?
Neil Peart, he's deceased, drummer of Rush.
Absolutely.
The best drummer in the world, best band in the world. Lavia Strangiato would be one, and probably, let's go with Tom Sawyer.
All right, Tom Sawyer. 1 chalk, 1 not chalk. Love it. Awesome, Doug. Thank you very much
Thanks,
for
Jim.
coming
Thanks
by.
for having me.
We'll be back next. Welcome back to the neighborhood. Our next guest tonight is Phil Carr from Crowley Carr Real Estate. Welcome, Phil.
Jim, thanks for having me on.
Welcome to the neighborhood. So give the folks a little idea of who Phil Carr is and what you love about your job.
Sure. Phil Carr, Crowley and Carr Real Estate, family owned and operated real estate company based out of Hamilton, New Jersey, close to 40 years now. Got our whole family involved, my mother, Kathy Carr, my brother, Charles Carr. My wife's going to be taking the test next month.
Keep it in the family, you know what I
Absolutely.
mean?
Alyssa Carr, so we hope to have her on soon, and are looking forward to keep serving the community along with the rest of South Jersey for many years to come.
And you're local in Hamilton, and I didn't really know much about Hamilton until I moved down there. But, you know, like the center of town of Hamilton is like an awesome little place. It's like a storybook center of town drive.
Absolutely. Growing up, the downtown of Hamilton needed quite a bit of work. So much so that people weren't even going downtown. But that's changed quite a bit within the past 10 to 15 years, I would say. We've really gotten on the map and become somewhat of a hotspot in South Jersey. The demand is sky high there, and it's continuing to grow,
Yeah.
it seems.
It went from like a town of blueberry farms to like this bubbling
Sure.
suburban.
Sure, absolutely. Well, we still got the blueberry farms,
Yeah.
fortunately, so I'm a big fan of those. But you know, we have a lot to offer now. Stockton College came in, NJM insurance. There's just a ton of activities and things to do there. Fun family atmosphere, certainly.
Awesome. And what's your favorite part about being a realtor? Like, what do you like most about the job?
The interaction with the people, networking. I love to talk, so I mean that's perfect for that. You know, making new connections, helping somebody, you know, find their first home, or you know, sell their home, sell the family home. I mean, there's no greater feeling than being able to serve your client, have a great experience. ideally, and seeing it all the way through at a final closing, seeing the look on their face, and being able to establish relationships. I mean, there's people that, I didn't know, every year that that you don't know, that become lifelong friends.
Right.
And that's important, and that's what this business gives you.
And you still have that like hometown feeling, like when you go to all the businesses in Hamilton, people kind of know each other. And it's,
Absolutely. Yeah,
right.
Everybody knows everybody. Population, I think about 18,000.
Right.
So it's not too big, but
Right.
yeah, you grow up there, you know everybody, even people that you don't necessarily know, you know them, by face
You
or
kind of
in
know.
passing. Yeah.
Right. All right, so now we're asking a question. 2025, April 28th, where's Phil Carr? Where's your goals? What are you looking for 3 years from today?
Looking to grow, as always. I know that's a pretty generic answer, I'm sure, from every real estate agent.
Sure.
But I don't just want to be Hamilton and surrounding area. I want to grow my business in South Jersey. I want to continue to bring on new agents. We have the family core down for
Sure.
the most part now. We want to keep expanding off of that as well.
All right, awesome. So your one personal question would be, you win $1 million. What's the first thing you're buying with your $1 million?
First thing I'm buying with $1 million, I'll be honest with you, I'd probably reinvest it.
You probably reinvest it.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't spend it. truthfully.
In what?
Stocks,
Stocks?
maybe some Bitcoin.
Yeah. No real
And
estate?
real estate, as
Real
well,
estate?
of course.
Rental
Yeah.
properties?
Yeah, absolutely. So
All right.
I try to have it continue to grow.
Nice. No
So.
vacations, no.
Maybe here and there.
Maybe. Awesome. Awesome, Phil. Thank you
Yeah,
very
thanks,
much for
everyone.
coming by.
Appreciate it.
We'll be back with the next guest. Welcome back to the neighborhood, boys and girls. Our final guest of the night is Frank Ginzano from KW Philly.
Thanks for
Welcome
having
to the
me.
neighborhood, Frank.
Thank you.
I gotta ask you a question. If you had a friend of yours that was constantly pronouncing somebody's last name wrong, would you tell them that they're pronouncing
I
their last
usually
name wrong?
don't. I'll tell you a funny story. My parents' neighbor for 20 years called me Dennis. And I corrected him one time, and then I was just Dennis to that dude forever.
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 Yeah, because we were pronouncing your name wrong for a while. We were pronouncing you Ginzano.
Yeah,
and
that happens a
Drager
lot.
was not telling us, your best friend in the world, Drager was not telling us that we're pronouncing your name wrong.
Yeah.
And then you said Ginzano, and I looked at Drager, I'm like, dude, you really let me call him the wrong name for 9 months?
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
Anyway, thanks for coming into the neighborhood.
Thanks for
tonight.
having me.
Tell the audience a little bit about who you are, what you do, and how you were kind of kicking butt in the real estate market.
I appreciate that. Yeah, so I'm the team leader CEO of KW Philly. Last year, 2021, we did 1.8 billion in sales.
That's awesome.
Yeah, over 4,700 transactions. So we're geared towards helping the agents live life by design, right?
Okay.
And my day-to-day responsibility running the operations of KW Philly, as well as recruiting, retention of agents, and coaching them, making them or helping them with regard to lead generation, being more present and available in their and staying top of mind in their clients' lives.
And are you primarily looking for full-time agents, part-time agents?
We're looking for
somewhere
both.
between?
You know,
Okay.
we're looking for passionate people.
Okay.
People who are passionate about, number one, helping people, inspiring others, and contributing to our culture. Our culture really is all about profit, right? Without profit, there's no culture.
Right.
You're not able to bring pizzas or have happy hours or do the things that really uplift the actual office.
Sure.
But what truly does uplift the office is trust, right?
Mhm.
All the agents they trust that leadership is going to do right by them and their business, do right by the community, and in turn, with our culture really centered around profit, it allows our other agents to really pour into the newer agents.
Sure.
So that dual career agent who's part-time, that's looking to transition and becoming full-time,
Mhm.
they're getting as much, if not maybe possibly a little bit more attention from the other agents in the office to help them because they have a goal.
Okay, awesome. And how did you get into real estate?
Because I hated insurance. That's why.
Okay, I like that.
I developed 18 different programs for 4 different companies, and I was traveling a lot, and it wasn't the fulfillment that I had. I had a fulfillment for helping people. So I kind of sat down one day, told my wife, Andrea, knew I wasn't happy with what I was doing. I was actually had my own brokerage. I had my own agency. And she was like, well, what would you really want to do? And I'm like, you know, real estate. Real estate's always been my passion. Studied in college. Was that little nerd on Sunday mornings watching the old open house on the old PHL 17s.
Okay.
I would watch it from 8 to 9 and then go torture my father to bring me out to the open houses that he couldn't buy or he couldn't afford just so I could walk through them.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I used to listen to a real estate show on 950 WPN,
Yeah.
Jay Omaha.
Yeah, yeah.
And it just went off the air one day. Nobody said anything about it. I was like, I've been a real estate and mortgage geek for a long time doing it. But that's like the cool stuff. I like the geeky side of
Yeah,
stuff.
me too.
I tend to, believe it or not, Mr. Mortgage is a closet geek for sure. Now, outside of real estate, what do you do to keep your heart pumping, your soul full?
Yeah, so it's always geared around being involved and helping people's lives. So currently, right now, I coach a 14U travel baseball team, and helping them get ready for high school baseball. In turn now, Jim, it's actually, I'm sorry, Mr. Mortgage, it's actually now helping them get ready for college,
Okay.
right? Because they're highly focused on getting better and becoming better teammates. That they're starting to get recognized by colleges right now.
Cool. And are you still involved in the city stuff with the fields and things like that?
I am, yeah. I'm the past president of an RCO called Melrose Civic Association, but I still do donate a lot of my time, my resources for the betterment and improvement of the city.
Awesome. It's great to someone who really, we try to give back. Someone who doesn't just take how good they have for granted. It's
Yeah.
really awesome. All right, now comes your personal question.
Great. Fire away.
All right. 30-minute interview. Anybody, past, present, anyone
Easy.
throughout history.
That's easy.
Who?
Ben Franklin.
Ben Franklin?
Ben Franklin may be one of the most interesting guys.
I agree 100%.
Yeah, and funny too, on top of it.
Yeah.
It's a guy that you could, shoulder up next to a bar, a pub in the city of Philadelphia, and have an intellectual conversation or have a funny conversation. Still one of the great innovators of our country, right? He brought property insurance to the United States.
Huh.
His insurance company is still active currently today in the city of Philadelphia. It's called the Philadelphia Contribution Ship.
Wow.
Yeah. So hands down, I didn't even let you finish the question.
No, that's all right.
It's Ben Franklin.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I went a half hour with Benny.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
For sure. That's one of the better answers we've had. Awesome. Thank you very much for coming in.
Mr. Mortgage, thank you very
Awesome.
much. I
Have a
appreciate
great
it.
night. That's it for this week, guys. We'll see you next week on Mr. Mortgage's Neighborhood.